Hi everybody. I've been in the kitchen most of the day, so I'm real flushed. If you see my face flushed, it's because I've been in the kitchen all day. So today I'm going to show you how to make a German sugar cake. Now my older son lived in Germany for 4.5 years, and he tried it there a few times and he loved it. And I've heard of this cake for many years and I've just wanted to make it. So today I made it. And so what we're going to do first, so we're going to do a taste test of this. Now you can serve it warm, cold, or room temp. And this is going to be right out of the oven. So it looks fantastic. Let's give it a try. So this is the first bite. Really good. Now I chose a recipe that didn't add any flavoring like almond extract, vanilla, and I did see one today after I started this that actually puts a little bit of almond extract and slivered almonds on it. That sounds good too. Now this is very real buttery. It's delicious. But I could see where adding a flavoring like almond and almond slivers would be really good too. So, hey, if you want to try something different, this is really good. And it's not overly sweet. It just has the right amount of sugar in it. So, I hope you give this a try. And if you do, let me know how you like it. Thank you for watching. These are all the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need half a cup of flour, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of quick rise yeast, 2/3 a cup of warm milk and butter. I will have all the amounts in the description underneath the video, and you do want a 9x13 greased pan with parchment paper on it, and you want to use a glass bowl. And you're going to have 1 egg yolk and 1 egg. Okay, the first thing you want to do is add your first 3 ingredients, which is a half a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of yeast. And you want to whisk that together so everything's kind of incorporated. And then after you do that, you are going to add your 2/3 a cup of warm milk. This is what's going to activate your yeast. Then you want to mix this up until it's nice and smooth. This is like your pre-dough. This is what's going to be used to make your dough. So this process is going to take 30 minutes. So after you whisk it where it's nice and smooth, like right about now, you're going to add your plastic wrap. And you're going to put it on top of this bowl and let this set at room temp for 30 minutes. You want to make sure you have this tightly covered, and we'll see you in a half hour. Okay, after 30 minutes, you're going to remove the plastic, and the consistency is going to be like this. So now you're going to add your egg yolk and your whole egg. And then you're going to add your room temperature, 4 ounces of room temperature butter, and a 1/4 cup of sugar. And then you're going to add 1 3/4. You can see the yeast kind of foaming. That's how you want it. Then you're going to add 1 3/4 cup of flour, all-purpose flour, and a tablespoon of cornstarch. And if you used unsalted butter, you're going to put 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. But if you use salted butter, you're going to do a half a teaspoon. And I did use salted butter. And so now we're going to mix everything together. And after you mix it together, you can use a dough hook on your stand mixer if you want. But this needs to be kneaded about 15 minutes till it's real smooth. And it is going to be sticky. Do not add more flour. So you can see how sticky this dough is, and that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not going to knead this for 15 minutes with my hands because I still have a shoulder that bothers me. I'm going to put this in the stand mixer and I'm going to knead it with my mixer for 15 minutes. And I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. I'll start with 10. You don't have to have it on high, just have it on low. Okay, I kneaded this with the dough hook for 10 minutes. I think if you do it by hand, it would be like 15. So this is how you want it, nice and elastic and smooth. And we're going to keep kind of doing this until I get it in a ball. So I'm going to keep kind of working with it a little bit more. I'm not adding extra flour to it. I'm just going to work with it a little more till I form it in kind of a ball. Okay, after you get it all smooth and elastic type in a bowl like this, in kind of a ball, you're going to put a teaspoon of oil on top, and then you're going to kind of rub that oil all over the top. And now we're going to cover it back again with plastic and let it double in size, and it'll take about 2 hours. So you just want to make sure you have a little oil, and I did oil the bowl as well. And now we're going to cover it again with plastic wrap and set the timer for 2 hours. You want to keep this in a warm area in your kitchen, so the warmer the area is, the faster it will rise. Okay, here is our dough. It is doubled, and it was 2 hours that it took in order for it to double. I did have my oven on, and I kind of opened up the oven to make it go a little quicker to keep it warmer. So now the next step that you're going to do is you're going to put it in your 9x13 pan, and we're going to press it all the way so it spreads evenly across the pan. And what you're going to have to do is flour your hands now because it's still sticky, and in order to press it, you want to get your fingers with some flour so it's much easier to do that. And you're going to press this all the way to the edges so it's evenly spread throughout this 9x13 pan. Okay, we're almost completely finished with this. We have it all spread across the pan. Now we're going to get some plastic wrap. We're going to cover it again, and we want it to rise in double again. So this is going to be double, and it'll take about 60 minutes, 1 hour. So I'll see you in 1 hour. Okay, this rose about an hour, so it did kind of double in size. And now is the last step. It's very sticky, so it kind of fell in there. But so now what we're going to do is we're going to take 600 grams of butter that's been cut in like little dice cubes, and we're going to poke them in the dough. To be honest, this hasn't really risen as much as I would like it to, but I'm going to do this anyway. This is the first time I've made it, so I think it probably should have risen a little more, but I had it actually an hour and 10 minutes, and maybe it wasn't warm enough, I'm not sure, but I'm going to prepare this and bake it. Like this side is a little higher, as you can see when I poke it in, than this side. So both sides didn't evenly rise, but I'm going to bake it anyway. So let's just finish here. And after you put your little pieces of butter in, then you're going to take your 1/3 cup of sugar and just kind of sprinkle it all over. Where the butter is, in between, everywhere. It's going to have a full 1/3 cup of sugar. And this is a German sugar cake, so that's why it's this much sugar. Okay, well, I don't think I want to use all of it. Even though it says 1/3, to me that's plenty right here. So now we're going to put this in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 20 minutes. Keep an eye on it. Okay, this just came out of the oven. So now we're going to take our 1/2 cup of whipping cream and just pour it all over the top. Just drizzle it until it's all over the top. And now we're going to put it back in the oven at the same temperature for 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, here it is. It took 10 minutes in my oven at 350 degrees. Now this German cake can be served warm right out of the oven. It can be served at room temperature, or it can be served cold, however you want it. So this has been out of the oven about 5 minutes. So I'm going to serve it hot. And it looks delicious. Even though it didn't rise as much as I had hoped, it still came out. I can tell just by looking at it. It looks really good. So we're going to taste it.